sports and entertainment, I want you to hit that like button. Make sure you sub to the channel if you are not a member, and also hit the notifications to get all of my content and as well as all of my videos. Salute to the whole entire Lions Den, basketball as well as boxing community, and salute to all of the people that rock with me, man. Day ones, as well as my new subs too, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with me, and even the ones that don't, I appreciate y'all too, man. Okay. Um, I am going to talk about this situation right here. Before I get this video started, man, okay, I do need to give a shout out. I need to give a big shout out. I want to give a big shout out to Who is Hendo, okay? I want to give a shout out to Who is Hendo. If you're not sub to Who is Hendo, definitely go sub to Who is Hendo. Um, Always bringing good content. Definitely going to speak his mind. Um, and is a student of the sport of basketball, and talks about a wide variety of different subjects and everything, man. And also a Pistons fan too as well. So salute to him, man. Um, I saw him talking about this first. Now, with everything that's been going on with the Jimmy Butler situation, um, we all know that there's one thing standing in the way of Jimmy Butler actually going to Phoenix, and everybody knows that, and that is uh, Bradley Beal's no trade clause, and everybody knows that. It's in the media. Everybody knows Bradley Beal's um, contract situation. All of that. Everybody knows. Everybody knows the situation. However, now the Phoenix Suns fans are doing everything that they can possible to force Bradley Beal out of there. And his wife Kamaya, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She took to X, and I'm not gonna read the whole thing. Um, and I'm gonna put it in the comment section so that y'all can go ahead and take a look at it. And I'm gonna put the link to it and put a link to the article too as well. But basically, man, the fans have went beyond basketball and have disrespected Bradley Beal, and they were chanting in front of Bradley Beal's wife and in front of her kids. One of them was 6 years old, saying, "Trade this punk ass bitch Beal for Jimmy Butler now." That that's what the fans were saying. Okay, to Bradley Beal, and as you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been heavily critical of Bradley Beal over the last several years and stuff. I can't even front, but I know when to stop, and I know uh, when criticism becomes disrespectful. Man, this is what I got to say about this, right? She was right, and everything that she said, okay? What's up with it, Ted? See you in here. A lot of these people look at these NBA players, like I've told you before, they look at these NBA players, these NFL stars, they look at them like robots. Now you wonder why I feel the way that I feel about Jimmy Butler, right? And not to, I have to bring him in this situation because these athletes have to endure shit like this. I've dealt with it myself before. I've been heckled before. These people think that what us athletes do out here, that what we are gifted with, and what we are able to go out there and show to the public, they think it's easy. Okay, listen, Bradley Beal made it to the NBA. You did not. If Bradley Beal does not want to waive his no trade clause, there's absolutely nothing that we can do. Now, I have my feelings about that. Do I feel like Bradley Beal should go ahead, waive his no trade clause and all this other stuff? If it's going to be a hostile situation for your family and everything, then uh, hold on one sec, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. Um, if it's going to be a hostile situation for Bradley Beal, then go ahead, get your family up out of there. Now, I'm not saying, be a coward or run and nothing like that. That's not what we're talking about here. But look at it like this: the situation in Phoenix is not getting any better. Y'all aren't playing winning basketball. Hell, y'all got even worse when y'all got Vogel up out of there with the assumption that you bringing Mike Budenholzer in, that it was going to make it any better. And actually, things have gotten worse. You said, I think the fans were paid plans by owner to get him and waive the no trade clause. You said owners are grimy like that. Fans get called an N-word during games. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You said fans call players N-word. Yeah, all the time, man. But see, this right here, you said Coach Boo is a pushover coach. Look, man, Mike Budenholzer, man, he's a. I'm not gonna say that he's a trash coach. I mean, he's a solid coach. You know what I'm saying? Is he a great coach? I can't put him as in a great coach. I just can't. You know what I'm saying? Now, is he terrible? No, I can't. But I I was critical of him. That year that they won the finals, and when he was with the Bucks and everything like that, there were a lot of questionable things that Mike Budenholzer did do, and I was kind of relatively surprised, being that he, from what tree that he came up under. You know what I'm saying? It's just so unlike him. Yeah, those type of characteristics are so unlike guys that come from under that tree. Because if I'm not mistaken, he came from up under the Greg Popovich tree. Is that correct? You said I think Suns should trade Booker and KD too. Hot take. Well, that's not going to happen. Okay, they're not getting rid of Booker. Okay, and they're definitely not getting rid of KD. That's not happening. They're gonna do everything that they can to hold on to those two, especially. And I hate to say this, Ted, but Booker is more safe than KD is, because you know, let's just call it what it is. Even though that Booker has had his trials and tribulations, the city of Phoenix loves Devin Booker. Okay, he's been there. He's been there. He's homegrown. Okay, let's just put it that way. But fans are ready to get rid of Bradley Beal. Now, this is just a psychological way, a psychological tactic from the fans to do everything that they can to get rid of Bradley Beal with the hopes of bringing Jimmy Butler in. And look, as much as I like Jimmy Butler, look, it's not no guarantee that him going over there to um, to Phoenix is going to guarantee them a championship. You said Bill is a diva. He this Wizards on his way out. Yeah, he did, man. Yeah, you know, but at the same time, man, and I don't really. Bill thinks that he's better than what he is. You know, I've gotten on him about that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna sit up here and act like what the fans did was was acceptable, man. That's just not cool. You know what I'm saying? Salute Jerry Jones. Um, it's not acceptable what the fans did, man. Look, I'm all for okay competitiveness. You know what I'm saying? Motivating your, just boo them. Just boo them. That's all you had to do, really. I would accept you booing Bradley Bill rather than you sitting up there saying something in front of his 6-year-old and disrespecting him in front of his wife. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, right in front of his 6-year-old and stuff, man. That's not cool, man. That's not cool. Look, bro. Let me put it to you like this, man. You go. Let's say this situation happens where Butler, Bradley Bill, he ends up going and making that decision, waiving his no trade clause and all that, right? And oh, trust me, I know. I have a well, he getting ready to be 6. I have a 6-year-old boy. You know what I'm saying? Well, 5-year-old boy getting ready to be 6 right now. You know what I'm saying? And my daughter was 1 6-year-old. Trust me, I know. Both my daughters were. You know what I'm saying? I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, they. You might in an adult mind, you might be like, oh man up and all this other stuff. But at a child stage, you know what I'm saying? That's like a child that wants to jump off of someone. You're saying it's no big deal because you're an adult, but a child, they see that like jumping off of the Empire State Building or jumping off of, like a skyscraper or whatever, where we see it as, it's just a little small jump. Well, it's the same type of interpretation. You know what I'm saying? Like you say those type of things to a child's parent or something like that, they remember that. And it's funny what you remember when you're small, and as you get into your teenage years, and as you carry it on into adulthood. But either way, man, let's say this situation takes place with um, Jimmy Butler joining the Phoenix Suns, right? And the Phoenix Suns don't win. You know how the fans are gonna feel? They're gonna feel really messed up inside. They they're gonna feel they're gonna feel like assholes. You know why? Because you know they tried to get Bradley Bill out of there, and then they thought Butler was gonna be the savior and everything like that. Look, we got to be real. It looks good, but people don't take situations and put things into its proper context. First and foremost, okay, Jimmy Butler, we don't know if this guy can coexist with KD and with Booker, yet alone even coexist with Mike Budenholzer's coaching style. We don't know that, right? We don't know if Jimmy Butler will like the city of Phoenix, because demograph and change of scenery sometimes can be bad. It could be bad for a person. You know what I'm saying? And it can make a person not play comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So that may take place. I'm just guesstimating. We got to look at the negative side of things, because everybody's looking like, oh yeah, Jimmy Butler, he goes to Phoenix, he automatically gonna win the championship. Then on top of that, you got to take this into account. We're talking about two superstars. Actually, some people consider Booker a superstar. Okay, so if you want to say three, you can say three or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We'll just say two right now when you talk about KD and when you talk about Jimmy Butler. Okay, will those guys be able to coexist? Because we're talking about trading him in the middle of the season, and they still got to get used to playing with one another. They got to adapt to playing with one another. Everybody thought that the KD, Kyrie, Harden experience. They thought that was going to work. Now, granted, Kyrie did get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So we wouldn't have never known what would have took place in that whole scenario if all of them were fully healthy in the playoffs. And then of course you had a less than 100% Harden or whatnot. We wouldn't have never known. But like I said, man, these guys got to have continuity together, and they got to play with one another all the time, in order to get familiar with one another, and that's gonna take some time. They're not, especially if you're talking about winning the championship, you know, especially if you're talking about winning the championship, that's not gonna happen overnight. And Phoenix is really not in a good position right now in the West. They're not going to be OKC. Like I've said with other teams, they're not going to be OKC. They're not going to be H Town, and that's a team right now that you really got to be worried about is H Town. You know, so and I don't even see the Phoenix Suns. I don't see them being any type of threat. Now, will Butler make your team better? Yeah. Hold on one second, y'all. Now, will Butler make your team better? Yes, yes, he'll make your team better. But we got to think about what stage of career that Butler is at. Um, Butler has had a ton of injuries. Okay, Butler has had a ton of injuries, as with Bradley Beal or whatnot. So, really, honestly, man, as much as I like Butler, you're really trading. I'm not going to say they're the same player, because they're not. Butler is clearly on a whole nother level than Bradley Beal. But I'm talking about in terms of their injuries and constantly being hurt and struggling with this and struggling with that over the past couple of seasons. That's what's been taking place with Jimmy Butler. You know what I'm saying? And Jimmy Butler, they're looking for Jimmy Butler to be ready to go. They're not looking for, if they give up something, they're not looking for, okay, we we brought in Jimmy Butler and we got worse. That's what happened with Frank Vogel and with Mike Budenholzer. I thought Mike Budenholzer was going to be at the top of the West. I thought the Phoenix Suns were going to be at the top of the West, and that just has not happened. That hasn't happened for Phoenix. So, I mean, this whole situation, man, going back to Bradley Beal, man, it's a crazy situation, man. And I feel bad for the kids, for his wife, Kamai, because they didn't deserve that. And the Phoenix Suns fans, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself, man, for real. And y'all are gonna make it to listen. The Phoenix Suns, y'all act like y'all get it done every single season. You have all these big ass expectations, and not to talk down on the Phoenix Suns because I appreciate the organization and stuff like that, but I'm talking about the fans. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about like like my guy Hitman X. Shout out to Hitman X, man. I know he's a Phoenix Suns fan. I hadn't talked to him in quite some time, but he's a real hardcore Phoenix Suns fan. You know, but I'm talking about these lames out here that claim they're Phoenix Suns fans and don't know anything about the history of the organization or anything. You know, um, this right here, man, was not cool. And Bradley Beal, man, I imagine Bradley Beal is now thinking about this. I wouldn't be surprised if Bradley Beal ends up waiving his no trade clause. For real, I I would not be surprised if he did it, man, and just say, you know what, it's time to get up out of here after hearing this. You know what I'm saying? Because and she was saying that it took security to restrain her. Hell yeah, you damn right. She going to bat for her family. You know what I'm saying? You gonna disrespect her, um, her husband in front of her kids, in front of their kids. Nah, man, you don't do that. And what she was saying is, you got a lot of people that sit behind a computer and they type and say all this other stuff, but as soon as you see them in person or whatever, it's a different situation. And they act like all these guys, they see them on TV. Oh, these guys, they're not big and all this other stuff. Man, it's a different situation when you see them in person. And the guy that you think is small or whatever, the guy that you think, oh, that guy's not doing nothing, or that guy's scrawny, or that guy, he ain't got no size on him. As soon as you run up to him in person, guess what? It's a different situation, man. It's a different situation. So I just wanted to give my thoughts on that, man. I know I haven't came with any lives today or whatnot, but I'll be popping out a little bit more. Just had some things that I had to handle, y'all. But make sure y'all hit that like button, sub to the channel if you are not a member, and also hit the notifications too. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. Shouts out to the whole entire LDBC. Till then, man, I'm gone.